If you're a kid,
I'm a kid.
and you love sports,
I love sports.
then don't move because it's time for kids sports.
I love kid sports.
Hi, and welcome to Kids Sports.
And if you want to know everything there is about sports, this is where you want to be.
Like how to buy the right stuff.
Some of the weird science behind your favorite sports.
We're even going to check out a few games that you've never even heard of.
We'll meet real sports stars.
And don't forget Pep Talk with Coach Pep. Wow, and to start things off, do you think you're good at what you do? Well, there's always room for improvement, right?
Right, watch this.
Come on, pitch, let's go. Let's finish this game. I gotta get home for dinner.
Here it is, the World Series. The count is 2-2. There are 2 outs. Bases loaded. We're up by only 1 in the bottom of the 9th. Kids in a tough position. The crowd is going wild.
Come on, kid, let's go. You can do it.
Who is this guy anyway?
Come on, kid. Give him the heat. Give him the heat.
Okay, it's full count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. The game, the season, comes down to this one pitch.
Hey, kid, I told you low and inside.
Chill. I could have won the World Series if it wasn't for you.
The World Series.
What's it to you? What do you know?
Well, actually, I know a lot. I'm Craig Holman, the pitcher for the Reading Phillies.
Really? The Phillies? Could you teach me?
Yeah, sure. Come on, I'll show you a few things. Okay, the first thing we want to work on is the balance point. Every pitcher needs a balance point. If you'd had a balance point out there, you might have got that ball low and inside. Balance point is very important for throwing strikes, which is one of the main things you have to do as a pitcher, okay? We're on the rubber here. A balance point, it doesn't matter how you step back, but once you bring your knee up, you must get balanced before you go home. On the mound earlier, you were bringing your knee up and you were falling back, okay? Which tends to get the ball up high to where hitters can hit it. So what we want to work on right here is looking towards home, bringing your knee up, and stopping for about 2 seconds. You can go 1001, 1002, and then you go home. That way you'll be sure that you're balanced. Let's have you give it a try right here. Bring it up, stop, 1001, 1002, now go home. Good. The next thing we need to work on is the direction towards home plate. Every position player in baseball must step toward the object that he's going to throw to, okay? If I'm a shortstop in the infield and I field the ball, I can't step towards second base and throw to first, okay? Wherever I throw the baseball, I must step. I must step to get something on the ball. Same thing works for a pitcher. You've got your balance point down, 1001, 1002, you're really balanced. The next step is to step towards home, okay? A lot of pitchers your age tend to do what I call throwing across the body, which means they step over here and throw back to the plate, okay? That can really put a strain on your arm. A lot of other pitchers do just the opposite. They step over here and they fly open, which makes the arm drag and the ball is wild. They don't know where the ball is going. The way you can work on this is when you go out to the mound, draw a straight line down the middle of the mound, okay? And as you warm up, when you come up, you get your balance point, and as you step towards home, your landing foot should be right on the line facing home, okay? That'll let you know that you're stepping towards home, not over here throwing across your body or to the left of it flying open. That'll make the ball high in the strike zone, okay? Let's give that a try. We want to get our balance point, step towards home, and look at our footprint. Now step towards home. Good. The foot's just a little bit on the left side. That just means you can improve on it, okay? But that's still good. The last thing I want to show you is the fastballs. And at your age, you shouldn't be throwing a curveball because a curveball puts a lot of strain on your arm. It can hurt your arm when you get older. So at your age, you should work on your fastballs. I got 2 grips for you. One will be called the 4-seam fastball grip. It's held just like this. That means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 seams spinning as it comes out of my hand towards home, okay? The other one is the 2-seam grip. 1, 2, I'm gonna grab them like that. As it comes out, we only have 1, 2 seams spinning into the wind as it goes towards home. This will be your harder and your straighter fastball. 1, 2, 3, 4. We wanna throw that one. That one's straighter and harder. If you want some movement on your fastball, we'll hold it the 2-seam way. Let's see you get a good grip on that. Slow motion. Okay, 4-seam. As this comes out of your hand, you're gonna have 4 seams spinning. That'll be your straighter fastball. Okay, when you need to throw a strike, we'll throw the 4-seam. Okay, if you're ahead of the hitter and you wanna get a little movement on the ball, we'll hold the 2-seam. As you come out of your wind up, elbow up, and throw, this 2-seam will tend to sink sometimes, which will really fool a hitter, and you'll get a lot of strikeouts on it, okay?
Thanks a lot.
Nice job, kid.
Kid Sports is looking for good sports to be on our TV show. Tell us what makes a person a good sport and why you fit that description. Send it to this address and we can pick you to give your answer on Kid Sports.
You know sports isn't all fun and games.
Come on, that didn't make sense.
Oh, sure it does. Science is a big part in any sport.
Science is in school, homework, tests. Hey, I'm out of here.
Hey, come back! Well, at least you had the sense to stick around. Believe me, you won't be sorry. Watch.
What you doing, Mr. Z?
I'm getting ready to teach my physics class how a curveball works.
What does a piece of paper have to do with how Greg Maddux throws a curveball?
This piece of paper shows how air pressure works. When I blow over the top, it lowers the pressure on the top. The high pressure underneath lifts the paper up into the air, just like the airplane wings do when they bring the airplane up into the air. Scientists have a fancy name for this. They call it the Bernoulli principle. You know what, Josh? Even Greg Maddux couldn't throw a curveball on the moon because there's no air. If there's no air, there can't be any air pressure. You gotta have that air pressure pushing on the side of the ball to curve it.
I thought that balls curve because they're spinning.
You're partly right, but it isn't just the spinning. You see all these stitches here? 216 stitches in the ball holding it together? When that ball's spinning around, those seams pull some air around with it, just like blowing over the top of the paper. It lowers the pressure up top, the high pressure underneath pushes the ball up, and so the ball curves like this. Scientists even have a fancy name for that. It's called a Magnus force.
Can a curveball curve up?
That's a good question, but the answer is no. It's impossible to make a curveball curve up. In fact, it's impossible to throw a ball in a straight line, unless of course you throw it straight up. You know why?
I think I do. The same reason we don't fall off the face of the earth. Gravity.
That's right, Josh. That's great. Gravity. Gravity starts pulling that ball down as soon as it leaves the pitcher's hand. In fact, a 90-mile-an-hour baseball with no spin on it at all is going to fall about 3 feet by the time it reaches the batter. And this all happens really fast. It takes just 0.4 of a second for that ball to get to the batter. And for the batter to hit it, he's got to make up his mind to start swinging after just about 0.1 of a second of watching the ball.
Wow, I think it's neat how you can find out all those sports facts using math.
Josh, there's all kinds of ways you can use what you learn in school in the world of sports. Just today we've used the science of physics, we used math. And you know what, Josh? There's even a little bit of magic involved.
Magic?
Well, more like an optical illusion. When a batter sees the ball coming in, it might really seem like it's rising, or it might seem like it's coming in straight as an arrow, and then just at the last second, break, just as you're swinging at nothing but air. But you know what? Scientists have shown that none of that really happens. It just looks that way.
When could I put physics into practice with a curveball?
Well, not until you're much older, Josh, because doctors have found out that all that twisting can cause permanent damage to your elbow, and you wouldn't want that to happen. So what doctors recommend is that for kids under 14 years old, they shouldn't throw any curveballs, and in fact, no more than about 300 pitches each week. But I could get you started on a knuckleball.
Is that anything like a knuckle sandwich?
Nah, a knuckleball is when you throw a ball with hardly any spin on it at all, and it can do some really crazy things. But that's another lesson.
My name is Madeline, and I'm 9 years old. I started playing baseball when I was 6.
Hi, my name is Bart, and I am 10 years old, and I play pitcher and first base for my team, the Yankees.
When I was in Rookie League, I played on a team called the Red Sox for 2 years. Then I moved up to the minor league. Now I'm on a team called the Blue Jays.
I started when I was 5, and I've been playing ever since because it's the sport I'm best at.
I play pitcher, first base, second base, and third. I like to play baseball because it gives you a lot of exercise.
When I'm out on the field, I just think about winning the game, and even if I don't, I still think the sport is fun.
Sometimes it is hard when you are in school because I have to practice and play games 3 or 4 times a week. And I have to get my homework done before I can go to the field.
When I grow up, I want to play for the real Yankees because that's my favorite team in the Major League Baseball.
Now that there is a women's national basketball team, maybe when I get older, there will be a national women's baseball team. If I work hard in school and on the field, I could be part of that team. The more I practice, the better I can be. Baseball is a lot of fun, and this is why I love baseball.
Kids Sports will be right back.
Here's a message from the National Council of Youth Sports.
I love T-ball. By Dylan Dartnell, age 5.
Why I love T-ball. Some people say kids our age are too young to play organized sports, but not T-ball. What's organized mean? You learn to run, catch.
You learn to hit and throw, too.
But most of all, T-ball is fun because after the game, our coach buys us treats. T-ball teaches you about teamwork and fair play. And you learn how many different flavors of ice cream that there are.
Everybody plays every position. That's cool to be with your friends.
There's never any pressure because it's not about winning or losing. I think the score was 92-7. I think it was a tie, too. If you have fun, you're never too young for sports. You're never too young for ice cream.
And that's why I love T-ball.
And that's why I love T-ball.
Me too.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's got the coolest sports gear of all? It's not how you look that helps you play. You need what's right. I'll show you the way. Helmets, gloves, balls, and sneaks. It's next. Let's take a peek. Wow!
Hello, how can I help you today? So, you've signed up for a youth baseball team and you need some equipment. Well, since this is your first year and you're not sure what position you'll be playing, I'll show you all the basics for any young slugger, catcher, pitcher, or fielder. Now, every baseball player needs a glove, and which one you need depends on which position you'll be playing. Here's an outfielder's glove. This one's for a first baseman. And this glove here is a catcher's mitt. Now, you need the right size glove to fit your hand and your game, and a knowledgeable sporting goods salesperson like me can help you make the right fit. Now, new gloves can be very stiff, and breaking them in can take a while, but you can break them in a lot quicker by rubbing in some glove oil, or you can use a product like this foam. We even have used gloves that are already broken in, and we have new gloves that are so soft they seem like they're used gloves. Now for a bat. Bats come in different lengths and weights, and what's best for you depends on your size and ability. The right bat can help generate maximum bat speed, so let's take a look at the chart and see which one is right for you. Now, how tall did you say you were? 4'5" and about 85 pounds. That means that you'd need a bat that's about 30 inches long. When baseball first started, all the bats were made of wood. Today, bats for youth baseball are made of either aluminum or high-tech alloy, and all are made with home runs in mind. And don't forget, you should always wear a batting helmet, which should fit snugly and come down below the ears. When you meet your coach and find out if you're going to be the next Babe Ruth or Ken Griffey Jr., come back and let me know. Then I'll help you find exactly what you need. But before you go, can I have some of those Cracker Jacks?
My name is Daniel. I'm a good sport because I don't get mad when I strike out. It's great to be a good sport on kids' sports.
You know you hear your parents and teachers talking all the time about getting kids off the street. Well, way back when, the street wasn't a bad place to play.
The street was the place to play. Check it out.
You guys trying out for the school debating team or what?
He started it.
No, you started.
Oh, you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey! Is that all you guys have to do for fun out here, huh? You ought to be ashamed of yourselves.
This is the streets, man. What do you want us to do, collect bottle caps?
Oh, you think you're funny. When I look down the street, man, I see a stadium. I see a playground. I see a great sports arena, you know?
Streets is flipped.
I'm telling you, man, this is where all the great games are played. Forget about the Olympics, man.
Games like what? Stealing hubcaps off of cars as they drive by?
You think you're funny. I'm talking games like wire ball and half ball and freeze tag. Ooh, and buck. Yeah.
Buck. Is that like cowboys and Indians?
You never heard of buck? Oh, man, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Never heard of buck. It seems like it is now time for a lesson from the king of the curb, the Allah of the asphalt, the sultan of the streets, yours truly, Street Sarducci. The way you play buck, or as a lot of people call it, Johnny on the pony, you start out by picking two captains. Two captains pick two teams. Then you argue for about 2 hours and try and figure out who's going to be the pony and who's going to be the riders. Then you check out the neighborhood for a good sturdy telephone pole, you know, or a lamppost or something. Now, if you're the pony team, you pick one guy to stand with his back to the post. The rest of the team grabs onto each other really hard, you know, and they hold on to each other like that. Now, you gotta hold on tight because what happens next is that the guy with his back to the pole yells out a signal like, yo, incoming, at which point, here comes the riders, one at a time, running, jumping, wham, bang, boom, as hard as they can, man. And the object, if you have not figured it out yet, is for the rider to try and bust the pony and end the round. Now, if the rider falls or his feet happen to touch the ground, that's the end of the round too. At that point, ponies become the riders and vice versa, or something like that, you know? Now, the guy with his back to the pole yells something like, Johnny on the pony, 1, 2, 3, off, if no one fell off, right? And that's when it gets really intense. The pony tries to buck the riders, and the riders try and bust the pony. It's mayhem, man, till someone hits the ground and loses the round. Any questions?
What happens next?
You switch sides and play another round.
How do you win a game?
Oh, you see, that's a good question. I like good questions. That's when it gets sticky. But I quote from Chapter 4, Section 2/B. If a team player is called home by a mom, a dad, or a grandparent prior to the completion of said game, thereby causing uneven sides, the team upon which said player plays shall immediately and irrevocably forfeit.
Hey, that's cool.
That's right.
Why don't y'all say we play some buck?
Yeah. We'll be the riders first.
No way, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
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 We'll be right back with more Kid Sports.
Next, Kid Sports takes a look at some of the cool stuff that happens outside of the game.
And no kidding, it's some pretty cool stuff.
Any girl who wants to skate should. Any girl who wants to do any sport should.
If you do it from the heart, you progress. You get bigger and bigger, and then eventually you'll get there.
Well, if you want to get girls, you got to be good. So basically, you better be able to do some good tricks. High, big, spin, whatever.
Don't even hesitate if you're female. Don't ever worry about what the guy's going to say or what they think, because usually they help you out.
Just get all your pads, get some nice skates, and just skate on the street and practice and start with the basics. Don't smoke, don't drink, and have fun.
And now here's Pep Talk with Coach Pep.
Now I've chosen you guys and girls because you are well respected in your field. I don't know what I'm saying. You're wonderful players, and I want to
play first.
I want to tell you about winning. Shh, don't interrupt me. I want to tell you about winning. Winning is everything. I don't know what I'm saying. Winning is a winning experience. Without winning, you have losing. Now, as I was saying about winning, if you lose, it's not okay. I don't know what I'm saying. You learn from your mistakes. You smell like peanut butter. Did you have peanut butter? Okay, now, if you lose, it checks your fortitude and your humanness and your love of the game and your love of yourself.
What about love of hot dogs?
Hot dogs are good. Hot dogs are good. Make sure they're the good kind. You don't want the bad kind. You don't want the kind that have the fillers. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, let me tell you about the first game. The big game. The game that could have ended all games. I could have gone pro. I could have had a sports drink named after me. I could have had a video game named after me. Not that that's important. You understand that? I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, but see, I worked 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Like, you don't understand! I worked for months, and we lost the game, but it's okay that we lost the game, because I learned from my mistakes. Are you with me?
I believe so.
You don't understand! I just want you to win! I want you to win! I don't know what I'm saying.
Thomas, what are you doing?
I'm not gonna move until Kids Sports comes on again.
What about lunch?
I'm not moving.
What about dinner?
I'm not moving.
How about a chocolate fudge nut sundae?
I'm still not moving.
I heard somebody over there looking for a goalie.
Wow. Hey, I'm in.
What about the next Kids Sports?
I'll be there.
I'll see you there too. Bye.